Toshi or doginme, both leading memes on base chain, both recently listed on Coinbase, and both poised for the bull run to lead the way. All signs are pointing towards a base chain super cycle. But if you could only pick Toshi or doginme, which one has the edge? What does the data say, and what do the charts look like? In this video, we're going to do a comparison of Toshi versus doginme, and I'll let you know which one I think has the most potential in the up and coming months. Guys, let's get into it. I love you all. This is never financial advice. We got the showdown, the dog versus the cat, guys. Toshi, I love it. It's so cute. Look at him. Look at him, little blue cat. Not Garfield, not orange. Guys, it's a blue cat. Blue cat. Look everywhere you can find Toshi on Coinbase, Bybit, Kraken, Mexi, Gate.io, Crypto.com, KuCoin. Guys, they are everywhere, and they have a lot of futures as well. They have an NFT collection. I have full video reviews on Toshi. You can go check it out. They have their own Toshmart, this Meow DAO. Guys, it's a legit project. Let's come over here and look at doginme. A little smaller, I would say, okay? When you look at the exchanges, they really didn't have much before it came to Coinbase. A real nice, simple website. It has the X, the Telegram, guys. It has Deck Screener, CoinGecko, and that's really it. You know, nice, to the point. Cool, though. Very unique. Look at it. A dog with a six-pack. I got that dog in me. So if we just look right there, we can see there's a big difference between these projects. Where doginme has two exchanges, including Coinbase, Toshi has a lot more. But I want to get into a lot more than just the website and just the exchange listings, because now that they're both on Coinbase, that's really all you need. And so when we come over here and we take a look, I just want to show you why I am so bullish on base chain, guys. I bet on good people in life. That is just all there is. And I bet on Coinbase. I don't think they're going to fail. And the data doesn't show that either. When you look at this total value locked, 2.8 billion total value locked on base chain. And you know how popular Sui's been. Sui's at 1.1 billion. Look at that. This is over 2 times the total value locked as Sui. That tells you how much adoption is going to be coming to base chain. Not only that, they're starting to list their own meme coins. When we come over here and compare the prices, we can see that Toshi is currently sitting at $103 million market cap with 17 million in daily volume. When we come over to doginme, it's a $30 million market cap with 16 million in daily volume. So just looking at that, it looks like one token Toshi is 3 times the size of doginme, yet they've got around the same volume. But I do want to caution everyone, in this sector, there is a lot of bots, there is a lot of manipulation or things to create more volume. There's arbitrage that helps people sell back and forth, and all of this creates artificial volume. So always take raw volume with a grain of salt. I just want to say that. And I want to do a deep dive into these charts where I think they could go and so much more right after we review the X. So then coming over here, taking a look at Toshi, 106,000 followers over here, guys. That's almost as much as my page. Go give me a follow. No, I'm joking. I'm at like 6,000. It's 100K more than me. But when you take a look at it, good art. They post these videos. I really, really like this. All their art is really good. It reminds me of Ponky, okay? And they also have an NFT collection, which allows people in their community to change their PFP to something directly related with the project. Well, let's come over to doginme. Doginme is obviously a lot smaller, 14.7K compared to the 106K that we see right there on Toshi. But that is what I mean by doginme is just a smaller overall project. It's got less exchanges. When you look at here, Coinbase and Mexi, versus when you look at everything Toshi has to offer and the adoption that Toshi has had so far, that it is a lot bigger. But does that mean that Toshi automatically wins? Or does that mean that there could be a lot more room for profit for doginme? Well, the only way we're going to know is going into the chart, and I'll let you guys know exactly what I think. Let's start out over here on Toshi and zoom out. This right here is on the logarithmic chart. You want to use this type of chart versus a traditional chart anytime you have a quick movement up in price. So almost all the time with meme coins. And we could see right here, this is right before the pump happened. So somebody had to know it was getting listed, even though it was not officially listed yet. And you could see it came up to about 100 million market cap. Then this thing pumped up to almost 1 billion market cap. And this is not during the meme mania, okay? This is not 6-8 months ago when memes were flying like crazy. This was during the overall downturn. Now, not the downturn that doginme got listed in that I want to talk about in a minute, but this was not in the meme coin super cycle per se, and it still managed to almost hit a $1 billion market cap. And the majority of all this volume right here happened on chain, not even from the Coinbase listing. A lot of the Coinbase listing was here on the way down. You know, after it was listed, that was used as exit liquidity. And that's just how these kind of things go. But now that the liquidity has been exited, what is the potential for it? And I want to break this down with Fibonacci and all of that in just a second. But I do want to come over here and compare doginme. So you can see going back to November of last year, there has been this low right here that it came back and tested multiple times. You can see right here, it's 10 million market cap, ran up to almost 70. Came back down, landed on 10 million perfectly, ran back up to what? The previous all-time high. And then what? Sold right back off. And that is when these announcements happened last March. And so what does this one look like? If we were to come here and we draw a fib from swing low to swing high, and I want to do these in parallel to show you honestly what I am feeling. And you come here to swing low and you go to swing high. If we're sitting here looking at Toshi, you can see that Toshi is at a very common level with meme coins, the 786 fib level. I've seen a lot of tokens hit this, whether it's Pepe, whether it's Turbo, whether it's all the major projects. They have all came down to hit this and then make new all-time highs. And so when we come over to doginme is holding a little stronger, we could say. It's sitting at the 618 fib level. If it was to retrace to the point that Toshi is at right now, that would be right here to $17 million. But the market just did not interpret doginme like I thought it would. I know a lot of people thought it was going to go close to $1 billion, just like Toshi did, but it didn't go anywhere close to that. It only got to where Toshi was pre-Coinbase pump, okay? So what does that mean? Does that mean that the ecosystem is stronger in Toshi? Maybe. So where could Toshi potentially go? I really do think Toshi could go to a couple $1 billion. It had this big resistance right here at $1 billion. So even if it just gets back up to that from where this is currently, that's almost an 8x from where it is down today. Whereas if you look at doginme has a lot more potential to get to that $1 billion price tag. For this to get to $1 billion price tag like Toshi, that would be a 35x. But the market didn't interpret it that much. It did not. It was not waiting for it. So if it hit the $500 million range, which would be half of what Toshi did, which is something I think is possible for doginme, that would be a 17x. So when I'm looking at both of these, doginme could potentially have higher multiples on the table. But if I only had money to put into one of these projects and one that I deem safer, even though none of this is ever financial advice and crypto is not safe, if we haven't learned that this last couple months, I don't know what is, then I would bid on Toshi just because they're available on so many exchanges and they're not just the meme coin. They have everything else with the NFT collection. Merch is okay, right? But they have the DAO that they have formed, and they have this Toshi Mart, which, as you can see, one-click social launch and trading platform on Base. But doginme is not one to sneeze at, and I do feel bad about it because it really got the Coinbase announcement at a bad time. If we take a look, this right here was on April 2nd, and if you just take a look at what was happening in the overall market on April 2nd, it was not extremely bullish. If we take a look at what happened on April 2nd, we were right here at $85,000 Bitcoin. So it's not like they launched the last 3 days or anything, but they also did not launch over here when Bitcoin was at $100,000 and everything was running like crazy. But overall, I like both of these projects. I am so happy to see Coinbase listing more and more base memes. But What is your favorite project? Is it Toshi? Is it doginme? Or is it one that I haven't even mentioned? I'm so excited to see what the next base meme is listed on Coinbase, and I have my fingers crossed that it is Arrow. Bud, guys, watch this video up above, and if you're not a part of the Freeman of Finance family, what are we doing? Subscribe. I love you all.